in the last video, we made changes to the model class game board to have it reflect a two-player game that needs to keep track of the current player's move. Here I am in repl.it, as you can see. If you have IntelliJ installed and you're using that version of the code, probably you don't need to be watching this video. And indeed, if you are in repl.it, you don't need to watch this video either, because I'm making a new version of the framework and you can just use that version. So this is only if you want to understand the changes that I was making. So anyway, like I was saying, in the last video, one of the main things we did was update move, so that rather than taking a location that the user specified for moving, now it takes two locations: a location where their piece is, where they're starting from, and a location where they want to move it to. So what we have to do now is jump over to run text game and modify that so that instead of just displaying the board, getting the user's move, and then using the row and location to tell the game to move there, now we need to get two different locations. So I'm just going to kind of talk out loud as I'm thinking my way through this, so it might be a little less cleanly edited than usual. But yeah, let's think about this. So I want to... All right, so let's see. Inside the game loop, I'm displaying the board and I get the user move. So let's look at that one first, because I'm thinking I want to do this twice. Once for asking them where do you want to move from, and then a second time for asking them where do they want to move to. So let's look down there. So here's get user move, and what I'm noticing is it's the same message every time. So I think having it take an input, which is the display message, is going to be a little bit nicer. So I'm going to cut this one, and I'm going to have it display whatever the message is there. And now up here where I'm using it, I'll paste the message back in. And I'll say type the row and column for, well, what do I want to say? For the piece you want to move. And then we can check to see, even though we told them to type the row and column for the piece they want to move, they might type quit anyway, so we still want to let them quit. Otherwise, we'll convert their move to a location. And then I think we want to, instead of saying if the location isn't null, make the move, I think we want to continually do these steps until it is a valid location. So I'm actually going to add another loop here. It's going to be a do while loop. So I'll say do this stuff while location doesn't equal null. Oh no, sorry, while location equals null. Because if the location is equal to null, that means something went wrong and we'd want to go back and do it all over again. So let's indent all these. And then we'll do some refactoring, I think. Oops. So I believe to be in scope, we can't declare location here. So we would actually have to declare location up here. And so hopefully this is going to be, these lines of code are going to be continually going until they've correctly specified their location. And then I want to do all of this over again for the second location. That's going to be kind of messy. So I think it's going to be cleaner to make these into a method. So I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to make a method, which you'll see in a second. So location start lock equals like get move location is going to be a full method. So pub, and it's going to return a location. And then I'm going to paste everything else in there. And I think it's also going to take a message as input. So I'm going to cut this. And now, yuck. Sorry. Oh, yeah. All right, and then at the very end, we're going to return location, or sorry, lock. All right, I think that looks probably not okay. No, that's okay. Okay. Great. And so then I want to paste the message there. So now all of that behavior is encapsulated inside getMoveLocation. I have the message that's going to display to the user. That gets passed here. Then over and over again, I'm going to do the following things. I'm going to display that message to the user and have them type something. Handle trying to quit if they want to try and quit. Otherwise, I'll try and convert it. But if it doesn't work, then we'll go back up to the top and have them do it all over again. And then at the end, when it finally does work, we'll return the location. So now we're saving that into start lock. And so the nice thing about that is now everything's been set up so that for the target location, we can do this. So we'll create a new location called target lock, but then we'll run the same get move location with a new message. Type the row and column for the location to move to. Later on, if we want to, well, let's not think about that yet. Okay, cool. So now we don't need this check because we're sure that once these methods exit, the locations they're returning are not equal to null. So we don't need to do the safety check anymore. And now finally, we can say game.move start location, get row, start location, get call. Is that a thing? Or is it just row and call? No, it's get row. Okay, weird. Target location dot get call. Oh, get row and target location dot get call. Okay, I think that should all be working hopefully now. Let's go ahead and test it to see. Okay, so it says there's a couple errors here. Run text game line 16. Cannot find symbol get move location. But why? Is it because my bracing is messed up? Oh, it's because that's not capital. Okay, let's try it again. So I'm running it the second time. Still doesn't like it. Oh, non-static method. Okay, that makes more sense. So let's see here. So static main. Okay, great. So this needs to be static as well. All right, third try will be the charm, as they say. Getting closer to be the charm. Ah, you know, it's hard not to work in a proper IDE. Okay, so I was missing the opening and closing parentheses on line 19. One more time. All right, great. This is totally the wrong size board, but let's type the row and column for the piece I want to move. So let's say 0, 0. And then type the row and column for the location I want to move to is going to be 1, 3. Cool, and then I see that it's added a piece there. And then if I want to move from 1, 1, and clearly there's not a piece there because we're not doing that kind of checking yet. Great. It doesn't look like my player turns are alternating, or did they? No, they did not. So let's just double check that. Inside game board. Oh yeah, of course they're not because I removed that part because that's something for you to do. Okay, I think that this is working. I hope this was helpful. Come back next time.